Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by lineups.com. Nate and Josh are here, just recording separately. I've got my picks. Nate has his as well for this NBA Cup final tonight. And we're bringing both of those to you in one episode. Moving forward each and every weekday, make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you can get all the action we have this NBA season. I'm kicking things off with Devin Vassell here, going over 13.5 points for Vassell. This is just a point off or so. And I love this player prop in this one because Vassell, in these situations, like this should be 14.5. If you look at all the different ways that you can sort of show what he's going to do tonight and see how he's done in these situations, you look at games where he's played at least 30 minutes, right? 30 to 34, let's say, where he's averaging 32. He's up at about 17 points per 32 minutes in those situations. There's some without De'Aaron Fox. There's some without Victor Wembanyama. There's some without Stephon Castle. I get all of that. But he's going to be playing 32 minutes tonight. And I think there's a world where he plays 34, 35. If he gets hot at all, he'll stay on the floor for as long as they want him to be out there. But he's going up against a Knicks defense that is awful against catch and shoot. And you look at him, they give up the fourth most points off that. You look at him in situations where he's playing against teams that are that bad against catch and shoot guys because they overpressure the ball. He's played a bunch of games against the bottom 10, always getting over about 14 in 6 of 8 games that he's played against the bottom 10 against catch and shoot. So there's all of that. You add when he's on the floor with Wemby, when he's on the floor with Castle, all those guys, he's still averaging 16 per 36. And I just think that this should be a 15-point projection, like 15.5 is really fair. 14.5, I would still be taking the over for him if I got good odds on it. And this is good enough odds for me to love over 13.5 for him in a game that he's just going to be out there for a lot of minutes. I also like OG Anunoby because he's going to be out there for a ton of minutes. OG likely to play more than 40. I mean, he's going to play at least 40, played 43 in the last game. You know, basically Mike Brown is going, I need this guy on the floor for defense at all times. Like he has to make up for the lack of defense in other areas, predominantly Cat and Jalen Brunson, as we know. And he needs to be a guy that can switch alongside 2 other guys. So if it's Hart, if it's Bridges, then he needs to be out there to be that third guy switching on at the top. I think he's going to end up playing a bunch on like Stephon Castle. And if you look at the way that guys who have played against Stephon Castle have rebounded, it's pretty well because either Castle is crashing the boards and you need to go after it yourself, or Castle sort of standing a little bit on the wing or even closer to the baseline when De'Aaron Fox and Wemby are out there together. Right, when those guys are running all the offense and action at the top of the key, that does push Castle down a little bit further, and that's where I think OG is going to be. Like, there's going to be some cases where OG's probably guarding Wemby. He'll be the switchable guy, the only other guy that could probably switch onto him, or might start on him at times, and then have guys like Cat in the second zone for help when he gets closer to the basket. I just don't know if OG can even bother Wemby's shot when he puts it up. So he'll have some minutes on him, but I think predominantly he'll be on Stephon Castle when he's out there as the only other guy that's athletic enough to do it. And I mean, if he's going to play 40 minutes, man, I mean, even if you just give him at least 36 minutes on this season, averaging 6.5 boards. Last season, same case. If he's playing at least 36 minutes, 6.5 boards on average in those games with really large sample size, because we know Tibbs ran him into the ground as well. And I think Mike Brown's going to do the same, and he'll have to do so because if they want to win this game, and this is an all-out game, right? This is tighter minutes, more minutes for starters. OG is probably looking at least 42 tonight. So I think he's going to trip and fall. And that is all the time we have for you guys in this one. Appreciate you all following along. We will be back with regular action for the NBA moving forward here on Wednesday and the like. So until we see y'all next, happy betting.